Do you think your English is good? Let's put it to the test. Today, I prepared 15 clips from some of my favorite TV shows. Friends, The Office, of course, Emily in Paris. If you understand all 15 phrases in this video, your English isn't just good, it's next level. And if something trips you up, don't worry, you'll get it by the end. Because this is the kind of learning that feels just like binge watching your favorite shows. Okay, number 1. Let's start with the most iconic sitcom of all time, Friends.
He's her lobster.
Let's be honest, I've heard Americans say this a million times. He's her lobster, find your lobster. I just want to be someone's lobster. And I'm like, why lobster? What does that mean? Why not a penguin or a golden retriever? So here's my life hack. When I don't get something, I ask my teacher, the one who's available 24/7. Let's ask Copilot.
Hey, Marino, what's on your mind today?
Hey, what does he's her lobster mean in simple English?
It's a phrase from the TV show Friends, meaning someone is your perfect match or soulmate, like lobsters who mate for life. Pretty cute, huh?
So when can I say you're my lobster?
You'd say it to someone you feel is your perfect match, like a best friend or partner, to show they're special to you. It's a sweet way to express a deep connection.
When is it not a good idea to say, you're my lobster?
It's best to avoid saying it if the other person isn't familiar with the reference, doesn't like Friends.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now you know, if somebody calls you their lobster, it's basically a romantic proposal.
By the way, this AI that I'm chatting with called Microsoft Copilot,
it's free, it's amazing, it talks to you in real human voice. You can chat with it. Do not forget to install it using my link in the description because it's your free English teacher and free American culture consultant that's there for you 24/7. It's truly amazing.
Bored, out of my mind. I've already been to the bank, the post office, and the dry cleaners.
Dude, you just described 7 days worth of stuff. You gotta spread it out a little, you know? Haven't you ever been unemployed?
Hey, I am not unemployed. I'm on sabbatical.
Hey, don't get religious on me, okay?
So what's happening here? Ross is clearly between jobs, but instead of saying I'm unemployed, he says I'm on sabbatical. This is peak American euphemism. In the US, it's all about how you frame your situation. Americans love softening tough truths. Fired becomes pursuing new opportunities or working on my business idea, whatever. Broke becomes on a budget, and unemployed, that's sometimes called on sabbatical. And this kind of language shows up everywhere, especially on LinkedIn. Oh my God, guys, if you want to learn professional English, LinkedIn is your place to go. But anyways, Joey, of course, doesn't get it. He hears sabbatical and thinks Ross has found religion because it's also a very religious word. Don't get religious on me, he says. It's classic Friends, a funny moment that also teaches us how Americans turn real-life struggles into polished stories. And America's all about storytelling, believe me. So sabbatical usually means a long break from work, often paid for rest, research, or burnout recovery. If you ever want to say you're unemployed and still impress someone on LinkedIn, you could totally say, I'm currently on sabbatical. It's useful, it's real English, and it sounds expensive.
Situation number 1. You're with Monica. The wedding is about to start when Monica gets cold feet. Go!
I don't want to marry Chandler.
Okay, it's gonna be okay.
One man the rest of my life? I don't know if I can do it. This means I'll never get to sleep with Joey.
Look, Monica, getting cold feet is very common, you know? It's just because of all the anticipation. And you just have to remember that you love Chandler. And also, I ran out on a wedding. You don't get to keep the gifts.
Okay, this one is iconic. Monica is about to get married and Rachel is rehearsing how she'll calm her down in case she gets cold feet. Do you know what this means? Because they both say the phrase cold feet. It's an idiom that means getting nervous or second guessing yourself right before a big event, like a wedding. In this scene, Monica, or at least Rachel pretending to be Monica, isn't sure she's ready to spend the rest of her life with Chandler. Everyone's afraid she might back out at the last minute. And that's what getting cold feet means. You hesitate, you panic, and maybe you just walk away. So if someone says she's getting cold feet, it's like saying she's about to bail. That's another great phrase to remember. But it doesn't always mean they don't want it. It just means they're overwhelmed. And honestly, how iconic is Rachel here? Jennifer Aniston nailed it. By the way, guys, let me know in the comments below how many of the phrases you actually got. I'm gonna be looking forward to reading your comments. Okay, this one is from a show that became a total obsession, not only for me, but for the rest of America. Gorgeous visuals, twisted characters, painfully awkward conversations, and so many amazing lines. Let's watch.
Oh, this is so on brand for you. To be a victim of your own decisions.
Okay, two powerful expressions in one short line. First, on brand for you. And this is what I hear a lot when I'm creating content as a creator. This isn't just marketing talk anymore. And no, we're not talking about the brands Rick wears on his 5-star vacation. It's not about logos, it's about behavior. In everyday English, if something is on brand for you, it means it's exactly what you always do. Totally typical of your personality, your personal pattern, your emotional aesthetic, if you will. And it's sometimes used with a hint of sarcasm. Of course, you brought snacks to the party. That's so on brand for you. Now you know, if someone calling something on brand for you, check if it's a compliment or not. Second phrase from this clip is a victim of your own decisions. This one hits harder. It means you made the choice and now you're paying the price. You might wonder, do Americans actually say this? Yes, but usually when they want to make a point. It's a little formal, it's a little dramatic, great for shows like The White Lotus. In real life, it's more likely to show up in a serious conversation or as a clever clapback. Together, the line becomes a very elegant insult. Polished, but brutal. Just like Chelsea. Okay, number 5. Another brilliant moment from The White Lotus, full of awkwardness, passive aggression, and vocabulary gems. In this scene, we actually get 2 useful phrases in one conversation, so let's watch.
Gosh, it's such a small world, isn't it? I just saw Claire right before I left. If I talk to her, I'll tell her you said hello. Okay, well, you all enjoy your vacation.
Me too.
I'll leave you be.
Bye.
Nice
to meet you.
Bye.
Mom? Why were you like that?
Like what?
You're kind of rude.
No, I wasn't.
You were pretty standoffish, at least.
Oh, please, what does she want from me?
Let's unpack 2 great expressions here. First, I'll leave you be. This is a gentle and polite way to say, I'll go now. I'll stop bothering you. You might hear it in everyday English when someone wants to quietly exit a conversation. You're busy? Okay, I'll leave you be. It's calm, respectful, and sounds very native. And then standoffish. If you've ever watched The White Lotus, you know that nothing is ever just polite. Everyone is judging everyone, and no one says what they really mean. That's where this word fits perfectly. Standoffish means someone seems cold, distant, or not interested in connecting. They're not rude out loud, but they're clearly not inviting you in either. It's that subtle social tension the show captures as well. Like, if someone avoids eye contact, doesn't smile, and gives you one-word answers, they are being standoffish. That's the magic of The White Lotus. It teaches you vocabulary and emotional intelligence and how some people really interact. All right, number 6. If you've ever moved to a new country, you know the feeling. You speak the language, maybe not perfectly, but enough. And then something happens. People laugh, or go silent, or give you a weird look. And like in this scene, literally run away. And you have no idea why. Let's watch.
Your couture is a confection. I could eat your clothes.
Ringard.
Oh, Pierre. Pierre. What happened, guys? What does Ringard mean?
It means basic. He called you a basic bitch.
Well, because of my bag charm?
The French designer just stares and says, Ringard. I can't say it in French, I'm sorry. Everyone goes silent. Emily has no idea what just happened, and neither do we. So what does Ringard mean? Basically, it's the French way of saying basic. But wait, is being basic really that bad in English? Well, in American slang, basic is not a compliment. It means boring, unoriginal, like someone who copies trends without personality. In other words, nice try, but you don't belong here. No wonder Emily was crushed. And another phrase that's super American, but not always easy to understand. Let's watch.
Never satisfied. Was he like that with you?
Pierre's insecurities can certainly take the wheel, but just be patient with him. I mean, we encountered similar issues during Fashion Week. You just have to make sure you handle him well, otherwise he could skip the opening altogether.
Take the wheel, it literally means to drive. But here, it's a metaphor. It means someone's emotion, like insecurity, are taking control of their actions. It's such a typical American way of expressing feelings. Casual, vivid, and super idiomatic. And if English isn't your first language, this kind of expression might trip you up. If you haven't watched Succession yet, first of all, you should. It's one of the most talked about shows in the US because it perfectly captures power, money, and emotional dysfunction, all inside one super rich family. Logan Roy is the billionaire at the top, and the whole show is basically a masterclass in how not to raise your children. Now, this next moment became iconic, not just for the line, but for what it says about Logan and his kids. Let's watch.
Jesus. You're such fucking dopes. You are not serious figures. I love you, but you are not serious people.
Let's look at the language here and why this scene hit so hard. Dopes. This is casual American insult. If someone calls you a dope, they're saying you're full. It's not the meanest word ever, but in this scene, Logan uses it with total contempt. You can feel how disappointed he is. And then, you're not serious people. This line became one of the most quoted phrases from the entire show. It's short, it's cold, and it cuts deep. This line even made it into real-life boardrooms. People quote it in articles, memes, business TikToks, even during political commentary. That's the cultural impact of Succession. That's why I'm also telling you to watch this. So next time someone says, you're not serious people, now you know. It's not just a phrase, it's a verdict. Okay, let's watch another clip from Succession. I'm sure you remember this adorable couple.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, what are you hearing? I hear that Jimenez thinks he's going to be tap dancing across Lake Michigan.
You should be careful, Tom.
Why?
Because people are coming down from Mali, and their pupils, they're dilated. And your shoes are like looking at the sun. No, they're dangerous.
So much packed into just 20 seconds. People are coming down from Mali and their pupils are dilated. This line is pure Succession. Let's break it down. Coming down from Mali, not literal. Think unpredictable, intense, almost primal energy. Pupils are dilated, so pupils is something in your eye. It's a physical sign of stimulation, aggression, or being on edge. Together, it paints a picture. There are dangerous people heading your way, and they're not in a calm mood. It's not a textbook idiom, but it's an amazing example of expressive, high-stakes slang. And again, you wouldn't really use it in real life, but sometimes you'll hear people mention it. Sometimes you'll watch another TV show and you'll be like, what did they just mean? So if you want to understand conversations in a Succession-style boardroom, this is the kind of language you'll need to catch. Next up, How I Met Your Mother. A fast-paced, clever sitcom about friendship, dating, and growing up in New York City. It's packed with wordplay, flashbacks, and tons of slang. Let's jump into this moment.
This is my band. I started it, and if anyone is getting fired here, it's you, Darren. So hit the bricks, skunk. Junk.
Let's break it down. Hit the bricks, that's an idiom meaning to get up, go away, or you're fired. It's often used in TV shows or movies when someone is being kicked out, sometimes serious, sometimes funny. And what about skunk junk? What do you think? Well, here, Tracy just made that up. It's not a real insult. Skunk, something smelly or gross. Junk is trash. So put it together, she's calling the guy a smelly pie of garbage. Ouch. Okay, the next phrase is super famous, but listen closely. Will you really understand what it means?
Last night, Epiphany, I realized what the world of dating needs. Ready? A lemon law. From the moment the date begins, you have 5 minutes to decide whether you're going to commit to an entire evening. And if you don't, it's no hard feelings, just good night. Thanks for playing. See you never. Huh? Huh?
Hi, it's good to finally meet you.
Katie, you are about to be a part of history. Tell your friends. It's gonna be a thing.
Barney says, from the moment the date begins, you have 5 minutes to decide whether you're going to commit to an entire evening. If you don't, it's no hard feelings. Just good night, thanks for playing, see you never. Then he proudly announces, the lemon law, it's gonna be a thing. So what's the lemon law? In American slang, a lemon is something defective, usually a bad car. The joke here is the comparison between a lemon car and a bad date. There's even a lemon law. It's a real consumer protection law that lets you return a broken car. Too bad it doesn't apply to dating. So when Barney says lemon law for dating, he means you can walk away early if the date turns out to be a lemon. You get 5 minutes to decide, is it going anywhere? If not, lemon law. Goodbye. Our next phrase comes from one of the most beloved sitcoms for science nerds, The Big Bang Theory.
It's from the Institute for Experimental Physics. They want us to present our paper on the properties of supersolids at the topical conference on Bose-Einstein condensates.
I know. I read it before I threw it out.
Okay, if I may drill down to the bedrock of my question, why did you throw it out?
Because I have no interest in standing in the Rose Room of the Pasadena Marriott in front of a group of judgmental strangers who wouldn't recognize true genius if it were standing in front of them giving a speech. Which if I were there, it would be.
Okay, what is Leonard even saying here? To drill down to the bedrock of my question. It sounds like he's giving a lecture, right? But actually, he's just saying, let's be real, what's the actual reason? Drill down means go deeper, get to the core. Bedrock is the solid foundation underneath everything. So basically, let's strip away the fluff and get to the truth. It's formal and nerdy, very sciencey, very Leonard. Okay, let's watch clip number 13 and learn even more about how Americans really speak.
It is an inefficient design. For example, Penny has a flat screen TV, which means all the space behind it is wasted.
We could put our stereo back there.
And control it how?
Run an infrared repeater, photocell here, emitter here, easy peasy.
Good point. How are you gonna cool it?
Hey guys, I got this.
Yeah, hang on, Penny.
Easy peasy. It's a playful way of saying something is super simple, like piece of cake. Yes, it sounds like something a kid would say, but that's exactly the charm. Americans love these childlike phrases, easy peasy, yummy, oopsie, even in grown-up conversations. And no, it doesn't make you sound unserious. It makes you sound friendly and relatable. You might even hear easy peasy in a team meeting, especially if you work in a creative office. To truly understand Americans, sometimes you need to stop taking things too seriously. We have 2 more left. Number 14 is short, fast, and legendary.
Question. What kind of bear is best?
That's a ridiculous question.
False. Black bear.
Well, that's debatable. There are basically 2 schools of thought.
Fact. Bears eat beets.
Oh.
Bears. Beets. Battlestar Galactica.
Bears do not... What is going on? What are you doing?
Bears, Beets, Battlestar Galactica. This isn't just a random list of words. It became one of the most quoted lines in the Office fandom. It works on 2 levels. Sound play. All 3 words start with the same letter B, which makes it catchy and fun to repeat. Pop culture code. In the US, quoting this line is like a secret handshake. It means, yes, I'm an Office fan. So what does that mean? It's not a real expression, but people use it as a joke when they want to sound absurdly confident, logical, or like the over-serious salesman from the sitcom The Office. Think of it like fact, coffee, deadlines. It's pure Office-style nonsense, and Americans who watch The Office and who are fans would appreciate it. And hey, if you understood even half of these 15 clips, you're not just learning English, you're learning the culture, the jokes, the real life language. You are amazing. Now tell me in the comments which phrase surprised you the most and which one are you stealing for your next conversation. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye!